Hi Capricorn, I hope that you're all doing well. We're here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is Three of Pentacles. Okay, so we're starting off with Three of Pentacles, and we also have Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. When we have Three of Pentacles, this is an energy of working together is the way that this is coming across, especially having this Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Now, what or who are you working together with? This is going to start from a place of I'm working together with myself. Rather than me leaving myself behind, I am going to be working with all of the parts of myself here, so there is a sense of congruence. And because I'm getting on the same page with myself, this can also extend to who you may externally be working with as well. So this can maybe be a partner, or it can be a co-worker, or it can be a classmate. Whatever it is, there can be somebody around you that you're working in close proximity with, but keep in mind, this always starts with you working with yourself. And when you're in that place where there's that willingness and that spirit of energy, where there is a collaborative effort, where there's an openness, let me be open to all of the different perspectives. Let me try to see where this energy is coming from. Let's see if we're just showing up and this is the state that we're in, how we can make this work. That is how things move forward. That is how we get everything to work in the way that it needs to. In the best way. I get the feeling of there being some type of group effort here. And the Magician. Okay. When we have the Magician here, this means that there's going to be communication. There's going to be a clarifying of intentions. There can also be like, let's work together to figure this out. What are we doing here? What's the goal? What are we trying to accomplish? What do we hope will come from this? What do you think? What do I think? Let's figure this out. Because Mercury is there, it's going to be about what's on everybody's mind and expressing that. And just as much as expression is important, also listening. And just as much as listening is important, making sure that we are mindful of the things that we're saying, so it's coming from a place that is deliberate. That's always important with the energy of Mercury. As it is something that we refine, it becomes more and more precise, and it becomes more and more accurate what it is that we're communicating. Communicating with precision, listening, being open to learning, expansion, asking questions, being transparent about intentions. That can be something that's in the process of being worked out right now. We have the Magician and we have Seven of Cups, which can mean that you know that you are working with something where there's potential, but you may still be clarifying what your intention is. When we have Seven of Cups there, it's kind of like hasn't been... If you have a bunch of stuff in front of you, but you need to sort of single it down, that process I'm seeing be happening here. It feels like, what is the end goal? What is the end result? Having 10 of Pentacles here gives context to my hope is that this goal is something that fosters a sense of security, fosters a sense of stability, fosters something that I can rely on, something that is more even than a basic foundation. When we have 10 of Pentacles, this is something where we can grab what we need from that, where we can this can be something that sustains itself. You may just be figuring out like what exactly that's going to look like for you in that case, or maybe you're even figuring out like how to make that happen. Because I'm seeing this be a new chapter, and it feels like it's about that. Like, how do we make this as secure as possible? How do we make this as ideal as possible? How do we make it function in all of the ways that it's important for us, it's important to us for it to function in that way? I do just want to clarify about this Seven of Cups. Why is Seven of Cups here? Seven of Cups is feeling like needing to get down to figure out the right order of things, and it can also be like how stuff is supposed to go, like how... If you have different possibilities, what one feels most genuine for you? Because it feels like Magician is the starting point of figuring out like what the purpose of walking a path is in the first place. Like, what are you doing there? What are you hoping to accomplish? What are you envisioning? What do you want to materialize? So you have that starting point. And then I'm seeing the end point be the Ten of Pentacles, which will be like when that has fully come to fruition. But then as far as what path you're going to take to get there, like what path will get you to where you want to go, it feels like that's what's being figured out. Like, if I'm standing here and I want things to materialize there, do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I go this way? Like, what do I need to do in order to get over to there? And maybe you feel like some paths wouldn't actually lead you over there, so you need to take that off the list. And then you're looking into something else and you're like, that feels like maybe a rocky territory that I don't want to have to go that way either. Like, maybe there's an easier path or a better path for the type of path that I want to experience to get over there. And that's basically what's being deduced at this point. There's definitely a process of tuning in here to your mind, to your heart. You don't need to be in a rush to do this. Everything, just take it in stride as it's unfolding. It feels like at this point you're like still figuring out the plan, essentially. I'm getting confirmation of this. So you're still figuring out the plan. You don't need to worry that you don't have it all figured out right now. Nothing is wrong. Who else had this? I think the last reading that I did. Okay. The reading that I did before this, it's called Holding On to What's Not Yours. And it was basically, I just want to get into this quickly and then we'll come back to the energy, because I'm seeing an exact same, the cards are coming out the same way, some of them. What was going on within that reading, it was about how when we're holding on to stuff for reasons other than that is our truth. And when I say that is our truth, I mean when your heart speaks to you and says, follow your heart, go this way, but we're doing other things, it conflicts with our pursuit of happiness. It gets in the way of us actually feeling like the byproduct of the feelings that we get when we are listening to the calling of our hearts and our souls. And so what I'm seeing going on here with Eight of Cups and Ten of Cups is that if there's anything that you have going on, that you look at it and you feel like you're there for a reason other than that actually being a calling of yours. Like you're attached to something, or you spent all this time anyway, or growing up a parent or guardian told you that's how it's supposed to be, or you saw that person do it and they were happy with it. It's like all of those reasons that aren't really your reasons. This can be, or they were your reasons in the past, but it's just not anymore. Like it's not something that is true to you anymore. It can be a time where there is a separating that happens, where there is a more so a focus on what do I feel my heart is speaking to me, and how do I answer that call? How do I move in that direction? And so rather than being in a space where we're creating more conflict because your heart's saying one thing and you're doing another thing, this is about following the path of what your heart and your soul are sort of guiding you along. So following along that, which means that there will be other things that end up falling away. So then we have to face our reasons for, if this isn't my true calling, or if my heart's not really in this, why am I still sticking around? Why am I doing this? And seeing how that's blocking you from what you really want, seeing how that's blocking you from a sense of fulfillment. Because I get at this point, it's about wanting to be creating things within your life, doing things, creating things on that path, even mentally, of I feel happy with this, I feel satisfied with this, I feel excited about this, I feel motivated, I feel interested, I want to learn about it, I want to explore, I feel engaged, I feel focused, versus doing something your heart's not in it and you're like, why do I not feel focused? Why don't I feel motivated? Why is it so hard to get this done, when really we're working against ourselves because we're not honoring our feelings? And beyond feelings, it's not just your emotions about something. This is that deeper, like your soul glowing and emanating when you find yourself involved in something that really resonates with you, versus that emptiness or that loss of magnetism when you're trying to force yourself to do something that feels very much like you're forcing it. And then that feeling that we get when we're doing that. This looks like there's been a continuous effort to apply this process. Ending with Justice on the bottom of the deck. I feel like either the Virgo reading or the holding on to what's not yours, one of them ended as well with the Justice card on the bottom of the deck. Bringing things back into alignment. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Having the Magician and then also having King of Swords be the only court card here. King of Swords is problem solving. King of Swords is listening. King of Swords is communication. King of Swords is being incisive. When we have Three of Pentacles, which is that openness to collaborating and to work with what's in front of you, a willingness. If this is what's in front of me, how do I work with this? And then the King of Swords is the part of you that's going to be able to problem solve and to figure things out. Moving from, this is all dried up, to, wow, this can really sustain me. How do we make that move? It's basically like a puzzle in front of you, and there is definitely that option of you solving it and getting to this Ten of Pentacles. However, we have to work through all of those mental blocks that would be creating barricades that don't allow us to get to where we're trying to go, or accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, or experience what we want to experience. Anything that's blocking us off. When we have 10 of Cups and we have 7 of Cups, this can be a, like, I don't know what's going to make me happy, or I don't know what feels right. I'm lost right now. I'm trying to figure it out. One thing can be that ways that you can cut off those paths that are no longer viable for you is knowing, like, what's a definite no for you. And maybe that's how you're going to weed this out. When we have 7 of Cups too, it's this, I don't know what I want, but on a surface level, because when we get deeper, when we go down within the 7 of Cups, when we reflect on that energy, what we want, we already know. 7 of Cups would be the stuff that would be blocking us from knowing. You already have that knowledge within you. You already have that remembrance within you. You already have that knowing within you. What is getting in the way of you seeing it clearly? It's not that you need to, like, figure out what it is. It's that you need to figure out what's blocking you from knowing what you already know. So what's getting in the way of that? And there can be a need to come to terms, because sometimes the things that block us are things that when we really think about it, we realize that it's just illusion, it's just confusion. Oh, I was still seeing that as an option, because even though time and time again I haven't gotten what I needed there, I still didn't come to terms with that yet. So in my head I was still seeing that as an option when really it's not. So this is about getting to the bottom of things. This is about getting to the truth. Because you already have the truth within you. It's just figuring out what's blocking that, what's getting in the way of that. And it's going to be something that's not the truth that's getting in the way of that. So this is about clearing that stuff out. And that's why being incisive is so necessary here. That's why having Magician and having King of Swords, and also Libra, like all of this air energy here, this is about seeing things from a place where we're actually seeing what it is. We're actually seeing what's going on. Being somewhere where you can work on things and be happy that that's where you are and that's what you're doing. And that's how you build towards. It feels like if you're following the calling of your heart and what is the truth for you, that will also, you will also get what you need externally as well. Like there is a link, there is a connection with these energies. And I'm seeing the cups before the pentacles here. So this feels like follow your heart first, and then you'll see that the material stuff follows. You'll see that security, you'll see that stability, that arrives as well. But maybe also too, something was going on where there could have been I was putting this before that, and then it feels disjointed. When we have 8 of Cups, Magician, 7 of Cups, King of Swords, what this is about is that if you don't want to continue manifesting stuff that you feel like is empty and like not really nurturing you have to figure out like what are those things that you're still holding on to. It's basically like you have a water bottle, 8 of Cups. You have a water bottle, and at one point in time it had water in it, and when you drank from it, it actually hydrated you, but you drank all the water within it. So you need to get a new water bottle, or you need to like get more water. But 8 of Cups is that walking around being like, oh well, I have a water bottle right here, even though it's already served its purpose, and you need to get that new water bottle so you can feel hydrated, and you're just slowly dehydrating. But there can be an attachment to the water bottle. Like at one point in time, this used to make me so hydrated and I got what I needed from it. And so there's this like carrying it around and having it around and then not looking for another one because you're like, I have one right here, but it's like, it's empty now. And there needs to be an acknowledgement of what is actually doing what you need it to do. This can also be like, I need to take a snapshot of right now, just presently in this moment. What has water in it and what doesn't? What can hydrate my soul the way that I need it to versus what is empty? What is really not sustaining me in that way? Because that's where there can be these added options that aren't really options, where you think some things are options, but then when you reflect on it, you realize like that's actually not an option. And so little by little, the path becomes very clear to you that there's only one way to move through this. And it doesn't feel so much like a choice, rather it feels more like just common sense at that point. So you don't even have to feel like you're making a choice at that point. You just feel like, oh, this is the obvious way that I would go. Like it's just a clear, nothing else would make sense to be doing at this point. This is the way. I do see it being important that we have cups before we have pentacles within the reading, just like energetically. So it feels that there really needs to be an incorporation of you having a focus, having a concern focus, your attention being put on like what you actually feel like lights you up rather than just what looks good or what can like materially provide me with what I need. There needs to be an interconnection with what you're doing. And also to recognizing what do you not feel that interconnection with. And it may be difficult to accept that in some situations. And that lack of willingness to accept, that can be the thing that can be one of many things that can be blocking you from seeing the truth. Because I almost get this feeling of like at this point in time, far along the process, what next step am I taking here? And like, why is it so confusing that far along on the process then, within the process? And it feels like this, what are you not letting go of? What are you not releasing? What are you trying to hold on to and force it to be something that it's not anymore, and then it's bringing up confusion for you? And when you really do honest self-reflection, you will see and that stuff will fall away. But it can be difficult because of our attachments. Attachments to anything other than the truth. Okay. All right. Good place to leave it. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.